What's up, guys? Bandit FX, and today I'm going to be covering my pre-market analysis for Asian session for March 24th, 2021. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly time frame. Actually, let's look at the monthly first. So I spoke about this earlier in an earlier video a couple weeks ago about the monthly time frame. So we were basically coming into the 100 EMA on the monthly, and at the time we were actually up here at like 152. So what I talked about is the possibility of a rejection at this level, and basically the end of the month coming back down and closing as basically a very, very bearish pin bar down here. So if you take a look at the weekly chart, you'll see that now weekly candles are starting to close bearish. They're breaking the lows of the previous ones, and the current week with basically 2 days left is now a big body bearish candle. So the most recent support we have for the weekly time frame is obviously like 137, but these are areas to keep in mind. 142, 146, even the area we're currently at 148 is pretty significant level. So let's go back down to the daily time frame. Let me get rid of these EMAs. I only like to look at them on higher time frames for the most part. So daily resistance and support. So we have a daily resistance right here at 158.50. And we have a daily support around this level at 148.300. Okay, so this is where we're at on the daily. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. We do have a 4-hour resistance forming here at 149.275. So I'm just going to mark this out with a little zone because we are starting to get down onto the smaller time frame. So here's my 4-hour resistance. Our 4-hour support is lining up with these lines I already have on here. So I'm just going to show you guys that on a lower time frame. Taking a look at the 1-hour chart. So we have now formed a support here at 148.735. We're ranging. We are 100% ranging on GJ. It's a very tight range. It's about 15 pips. So pretty small range. We should see a breakout here in Asian session, and we could either get buys or sells. There's plenty of room to both sides. For sells, we have a 20 pip move down for the wick fill and possible continuation to the downside. For buys, we can basically correct most of this move, which is I think about 40 pips. Let me make this a little bit smaller and do this again. Yeah, about actually 55 pips if we do correct this full move and actually start trending up on these lower time frames. So either one works, buys or sells. Let's see, 30-minute. We have a 30-minute resistance right here, and our 30-minute support. Now, if we're taking a buy or sell, once this price comes out of this range, what we're going to want to see is an actual close outside of the range. So when price is ranging, it's very important that you wait for a candle close outside of the range in order to take an entry, because you see how many wick rejections we have here on the upside and the downside. We have 3 rejections on the upside and 4 rejections to the downside. If you were to take an entry, say price was already ranging, right, and a wick comes down here, you take a sell, all of a sudden candle closes back in the range, you take the loss for no reason. We need a very clear close outside of the range in order to take a position. So as far as profit targets, obviously this is an area to keep in mind. So this is about 10 pips away. I would say anybody taking buys at this point should be looking for TP1 around this level. It's just 10 pips away. So let me just TP1 at 10 pips. And the full take profit, if we do actually come back up to mirror this entire move, would be somewhere in this area. TP2. Which ends up being, I believe, like 50 pips or something. Let me mark it out. So the full TP would be 55 pips. Okay. Now, for sells, say we break below this range here, our first TP is going to be at the wick fill, which is basically 148,530. I'm going to go ahead and mark this level down here. TP1, let's see how big this range is. Say 19 pips. TP1 would be 19 pips, and then the full TP, I would say, should be a daily support. But let's go ahead and take a look to the left and see what we see. Okay, so we do have super, super clean traffic to the left over here. This is an area to keep in mind because it was a previous resistance and support. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and move our TP2 here at 148,420. 148,420. That's going to be our TP2. But let's go ahead and measure this range from here to here. Oh, whoops. Okay. I'm going to say 30 pips. Okay, guys, so this is basically my targets for Asian session. If we do get a break outside of this range, we're looking for sells for 19 pips and then 30 pips as the full take profit, and then 10 pips for TP1 for buys and 55 pips for TP2. So yeah, guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.